Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Shelly here and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you guys can see from the thumbnail, I'm going to be creating a eye look today, comparing two palettes. One more of a higher end and then one more on the lower end side. So the two palettes that I'm going to be comparing is the Sephora Pro palette. You guys just seen me use this palette in my last video and I loved it. So I'm going to be comparing this palette. This palette is a $68 palette to the Morphe 35B palette. Now this is the new packaging that Morphe is using now on all their palettes, so I was surprised when this palette came. I thought it was a 24G and I was like, I didn't order the 24G, so what? Yeah, they sent it to me in the new box. However, it came in the old plastic, but it does have the new logo, the small logo on it. So I wish they would have put it in the cardboard because I so prefer the cardboard over this one, but whatever, I guess they're not there yet. But I have seen this palette on everyone's channel. When I say everybody, I mean everybody have that palette except for me. So I went ahead and ordered it. This is what it looks like. So very similar to the Sephora Pro palette. Only that palette I believe is $23. I'm gonna make sure that I get the price correct. But yeah, $23 compared to $68. So this is what the Sephora palette looks like, and this is what the Morphe palette looks like. So very similar. I think you have all the same colors in the palette. The only color that I don't see in the Morphe palette is the yellow. Like you guys see that bright yellow at the bottom. So that bright yellow that's like right down there. I don't see that in the Sephora Pro palette, so yeah. And then the Sephora Pro palette has names, but it's just on this sleeve, and the Morphe palette doesn't have any name. This one is very heavy. This one a little bit more on the lighter side, but the weight doesn't have anything to do with the palette if the quality is better. So, and also another thing, you guys know that the Sephora Pro palette does come with a mirror. The Morphe palette does not. So if you guys would have used this to travel, you would need a mirror with the Morphe palette. The Sephora palette doesn't have one. And then I can also tell you guys by looking at it that the Morphe palette does give you a lot more for less money. So I'm going to show you guys again both palettes. This one has like greens, a lot more greens, a lot more blues. You get the yellow. This gold is in the Sephora palette. You get a lot more pinks, purples. So just by looking at them both, you guys can see that you get a lot more in the Morphe palette than what you would get in the Sephora palette. So we're going to put these palettes to the test and see how they work. Now the Sephora palette has two silver shimmer colors in it. The Morphe palette doesn't. So I guess one palette kind of has something that the other palette doesn't, but you get way more shadows in this one. So yeah. Alright, so before we get into the test, I'm going to prime my lids and then I'll be right back and we're going to put these two palettes to the test to see how they work. I'm not sure of what color I want to go with as yet, but when I come back we'll figure that out. So just give me 2.5 seconds or less, probably 0.1 second, and I'll be right back after priming my lids. Hey guys, so I am up close and personal. My lids are prime. I'm going to go into both palettes using the same brushes. So I have two of the Morphe 441 brush right here. So I have two of the 441 right here. And then I have two of the 443 right here. So you guys know these are my all-time favorite blending brushes. I love my MAC brushes as well. And I also have a couple of brushes from BH Cosmetics that I love, and a lot of other brushes, but these are the ones that I'm gonna use today because they're affordable. So if you guys want to pick them up, you definitely can. I absolutely recommend these. So like I said, 441 and 443. I'm gonna go in. I might do something with my lids, I'm not sure as yet, but for my transition and smoking out my lids for right now, these are the brushes that I'm gonna be using. And I'm gonna go bright today because I don't know, I feel like going bright. So I'm going to start out with the 443 blending brush, and I'm going to do Morphe on this side, Sephora on this side, just because that's how I have the palettes right here right now. So to start out on my my lids on the Sephora side, I'm going to be using this pink color right here. It's a really bright pink, but that's what I'm going to use for my transition color. And then I'm going to use this darker pink for my crease to like darken up my crease, smoke out my crease. Yeah, that's what I feel like doing. And then on the Morphe side, I'm going to use this pink that's very similar. So this pink right here, it's a really bright pink color. And then I'm going to use this at the bottom to smoke it out. Same concept, almost exact same colors. And yeah, so I'm going to start on the Morphe side. Now, I have used Morphe palettes in the past, tons of Morphe palettes. You guys know from watching my videos that there's not much of their palettes that I don't have. So yeah. Ooh, right off the bat, this is super pigmented. I've never used this exact palette before, this bright color, but I've seen tons of people use this palette, and I'm just like, am I the only one that doesn't have this palette? And it's so funny because before the Sephora palette, I didn't have any palette that just contains all bright colors. And that's the main reason why out of all the Sephora Pro palettes, I got the one with the bright shades, because I don't really have a lot of palettes, or I have a couple of palettes from BH Cosmetics that I purchased way back in the days, like the Brazil palette and a couple of other one of those palettes, but I gave most of them away, so I didn't really have a lot of palettes that has bright colors. So yeah, right off the bat, this is super pigmented. I'm not getting a lot of fallout on my face, so I really like that. Ooh, that's really pigmented. I'm gonna go with a clean brush on the Sephora side, and now we're gonna put that same similar pink color to the test to see how it works. I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but there's a hint of difference in the colors, just a hint, but they're almost identical, like they're almost the same exact thing. And if you look at the brushes, you can't really tell that there's much difference. It's not that much difference. Let's go into that deep kind of plummy, like pink, like deep pink plummy shade, and see how well it smokes out the outer corner. I'm going to start on the Morphe side first. That looks nice. That looks really nice. I love how that side looks. Now let's go in with our clean brush on the other side and see how it performs. As you guys can tell, this side looks a lot more purpley and this side looks a lot more red. So I don't know if you guys can tell the difference, but this one, I knew from the color, from like trying to match the colors, that this one, the Morphe one, was a little bit more on the purple side, and this Sephora one was a little bit more on the red side. But so far, they look almost identical if that hint of color was not different. So I'm going to cut the crease, and then I'm just going to add the white on top on both sides, and we're going to see how it looks. I'm going to use the NYX what is this called? Eyeshadow base in white, and I'm just going to use this to cut the crease. And this is my Sigma F75 brush. So I added the NYX white, the NYX eyeshadow base in milk or white on my lids, and then I add the white from both palettes. And as you guys can tell, the Morphe side looks a lot more patchy, and then this side is not as smooth, but it looks way much better. So I'm not sure if it's this NYX base, because I used this base the other day and I hated how it looks. So that could be the reason why none of the whites are not performing as they should. But I don't know. But I don't like how any of the white look. None of them. This one just looks a lot more cakey. This one looks patchy. So I'm almost 100% sure that it is because of the NYX eyeshadow base. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off my entire face. I'm probably going to try to do something with the white, probably cover it with something. Then I'll be back to give you guys my final thoughts on both palettes. Hey guys, so I am finally back, and I don't know how I feel about these lips with this makeup look, but I literally tried 5 different lip colors. I tried the Fenty Gloss Bomb. It just didn't look right. It just looked like, I don't know. I tried this from Maybelline. That didn't work. And I tried this from MAC, which is kind of like a really mauvey, not so much in your face color. Still didn't look correct. And I was down to these 2 lip butter gloss from NYX, so I'm wearing the darkest one. I really don't like it with this eye look because it's doing too much, but that is not what the look is about. So don't come for me in the comments that I'm doing too much with the eyes and then I have a bright color on the lips. I tried so many different lip colors and I can't figure out what to wear, so I'm just sticking with this one for now. To conclude both palettes, you guys, yeah, I really liked both palettes, how they work, but I am gonna say, if I was gonna choose which one is my favorite or which one I would recommend for you guys to get, it would definitely be the Morphe palette, only because it has way much more colors, and you can buy 3 of this with the price of this. So yeah, I really prefer this one only because it has more colors for you guys, and I would think it would be a better option. But if you want to go ahead and splurge and buy the Sephora palette, I definitely recommend it only because it's so heavy. It does worth it. The packaging is amazing, and you get a huge mirror with this palette. So yeah, I love the Sephora Pro palettes. I want to get my hands on all 3 of them, but they're just so expensive. Like, oh my god, $68. I don't know what Sephora was thinking when they made the price for this palette, but oh, it must be for the packaging, because I don't know. So you do get the names, which is on this plastic, like I said before, but that I cannot stand. Like, for $68, I felt like the name should have been inside the palette. But that's what the palette looks like one more time, and you get the huge mirror in there, and then yeah, that's what it looks like. And for the most part, you're only getting like 1 of a color. But if we're talking about something that's on a budget and you're getting way much more for your money, it would definitely have to be the Morphe palette. On my lids, the white, I wouldn't say any of them is better than the other. I think they perform how they perform based on the base that I used. So I wouldn't recommend using that base. I don't know what is wrong with my base. Maybe it expired or something, because I had it for years and I really never used it much. So maybe I need to pick up a new one. But the base is probably why the whites perform like that, but I went ahead and covered them. I don't know if you guys can see that with my Stila Magnificent Glitter, and I used the color Diamond Dust. It's like a silver color, so I just have those sparkle of silver on my eyes, which looks amazing. Hate the lip color, of course, but yeah, that is my final thoughts for this palette, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you like it. Share it, tell your friend, tell your mother, tell your father, tell your grandmother, tell everybody to come watch it. And I will definitely see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. So I just took my makeup off after filming, and I thought I would include this in the video that both eyeshadows stained my lids, and that is weird because I did prime my lids with my MAC concealer, and then I did set it with the Beauty Bakery setting powder. So you guys seen that before I applied my eyeshadow that I did prime my lids. So I don't know how both of them stained my lid. I don't know if it's because it's the dye that they use in the pink for it to be pigmented, but especially on the Morphe side more than the Sephora side, it's really stained. But they're both stained, like you guys can see that. They're both stained. So I don't know if anyone was interested in finding that out, but I just wanted to include that in the video, that both my lids got stained from both eyeshadow palettes. So yeah.